All right, everyone. We are live now. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm just waiting for a couple of more people to join, and then we can start our today's session. So, as I've mentioned before, in today's session, we will be doing a knowledge checks for AZ 900 certification exam. So, if you have joined already, let me know in the comments from where are you joining and if you are able to hear me properly. And then we can start the session. Hey, Gavin, how you doing? Thanks for joining, mate. Thank you so much. Amit, no brother, I don't do paid classes, so this is what I do only. So yeah, so just follow me on LinkedIn and YouTube, and that's only where I do my learning sessions and no paid classes. So I guess people are still joining. So I'm just gonna give it a couple of more minutes. And but whoever joined already, let me know if you are able to hear me properly. My voice is coming fine, or you feel any issues. So uh, I have started this stream live on YouTube as well as LinkedIn. So it should be audible and it should be visible from both the platforms. But let me know in case if you are facing any issues. So I'm just gonna wait for a couple of more minutes. Yes, Gavin, I'm doing all well. Thank you so much. How are you doing? How's your GCP studies going on? Okay, thanks for confirming. Sound is coming fine. There were a lot of people accepted the invite, and I still don't see anyone joined yet. So I'm just waiting for a few people to join so that we can start the session. Hi Sangati, thanks for joining. Thank you so much. Well, good evening to you. For me, it's good morning. So I hope you are doing well. It's just Saturday morning for me still. I am in my half sleep. So I'm just trying to wake up with a cup of coffee. How are you doing today? Good to know, Sangati. Good to know. So, how's your AZ 900 preparation going on? Any issues you are facing? Any doubts you have? Maybe like because we haven't have a lot of people joined already, so we can take some questions and we can start from there. Sounds good, Sangati. Thank you so much. Hi, Mohammed Naeem Raz. Thank you so much for joining. So maybe like we have a couple of folks joined already. Maybe we can start with the session. So, as I've told you in this session, I'll be doing some knowledge checks for AZ 900 sample exam questions. So, I want this session to be as much interactive as possible. So, I would request you to please participate in the discussions. And, I'll just pull over the question on the screen right now and try to answer these questions. And then we can discuss like what is the right answer, what are the wrong answers, and all the justifications about it. Okay. Hi Tanaji, thanks for joining. It's good to know that your studies are going well for AZ 900. In case anything comes up, I'm here to clear your doubts and everything. So let's start with our first question. So, when you are implementing a software as a service solution, a SaaS solution, you are responsible for the configuration of SaaS solution. Everything else is managed by the cloud provider. Is that statement true or false? So read this question carefully and let me know in the comments what do you think about the answer. If it's like it says you are responsible for configuring the SaaS solution, that means you are responsible for maintaining the software and everything else is managed by the cloud provider. So what do you think about it? Like, do you agree with the statement or you don't? What would be the answer? So I'll just wait for your answers in the comment sections and then we'll discuss about it. Are you guys still here with me? Please answer the question. And so don't worry about it. Like there is no right or wrong answer. Just try to attempt the question and we'll discuss about it. Like what would be the right answer? What is the wrong answer? So Sangati is saying false. And Sunita, thanks for joining. Sunita is saying it is true. So please, guys, try to read the question very carefully. It says you are responsible for configuring the solution and everything else is managed by cloud provider. Everything else means your infrastructure, your operating system, your physical infrastructure that lies in the data center and all those things. So all those things are managed by the cloud provider, and we are talking about a SaaS solution, a software as a service solution. So in case you don't know a software as a service solution, just try to think of it as a application that is hosted same as a Gmail application or Office 365 application, right? So uh, Sunil is also saying false. And maybe I'll just I guess we only have 4 5 people live right now, so I guess. And Tanaji is saying false. Okay, so guys, answer to this question is true. Sorry to disappoint you. Sunita got the right answer, but this is how it works. See, in SaaS solution, as I've told you before, just think of it as a application that is hosted same as your Gmail application. So in Gmail application, you are only responsible for configuring your Gmail, right? Like you are responsible for providing access to your users, to your organization, and those things. But you don't manage the underlying operating system, you don't manage the infrastructure, you don't get access to the underlying host VM like SSH or RDP access. You don't, you have very limited access, and that too just to use the solution as it is. You use the standard version of the software. You cannot do any customization on top of your Gmail application, right? Gmail will be same for every user. Or your Microsoft Word application like Office 365 application, they would be same for every user. There are no customizations that you can do. That means they are providing you a standard version of the software, and you just you are responsible for only configuring the SaaS solution, right? I hope that makes sense now. Let me know in the comment if you want more explanation on this, or I can go ahead with the next question. So yes, answer for this question is true. You are responsible for only configuring the solution, and rest everything is managed by the cloud provider, whether it's Azure, AWS, or GCP. All right. So if you guys don't have any further questions on that, let me okay, thanks for the confirmation, Sangati. Let's go ahead with the next question. So, you plan to migrate a web application to Azure. The web application is accessed by the external user. That means it is a public facing website. You need to recommend a cloud deployment solution to minimize the amount of administrative efforts used to manage the web application. What should you choose? See, again, try to understand each and every keywords given in the question. You are migrating a web application. First of all, there is no new application. You are migrating an existing application to Azure. Then it is a web application accessed by your external user, public facing website. And then you need to minimize the amount of administrative efforts to manage the web application. That means you don't have to worry about your infrastructure, you don't have to worry about patching the server, providing upgrades, or providing updates to the server. All those will be taken care by Azure, because you have to choose a solution that would minimize the amount of these kind of administrative tasks. So which cloud deployment solution would you choose? Whether you would go with IaaS, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, solution, sorry, software as a service, or database as a service, right? So let me know in the comment what you think about the question, and what do you think would be the right answer, and we'll discuss why other answers are wrong and which answer is the correct answer, and like why is that. So I'll just wait for your answers, and then we'll start the discussion on this. So these type of questions, these are kind of confusing at once. But if you read the question very carefully, if you understand each and every requirement given in the question, it will be easier to answer the question, and it will be easier to understand the concept behind it. So Sunita is saying pass, platform as a service. Let's see what others think. Meanwhile, Sunita, can you also provide us details like why it is pass and not SaaS? Why do you think pass should be the solution? Hi, Vijay Kiran. Thanks for joining. So, in this session, we are doing live knowledge checks for AZ 900 certification exam. So, we are at question number two. Try to attempt this question, and then we'll be discussing like what would be the right answer and why other answers are not the correct one. Sangati is saying infrastructure as a service. Okay, so we have got some variety in the answer. So let's see what others think. Tanaji, Sunil, and who else joined? Mohammad Naeem. Let's see what you guys think about it. Okay, Sunil is also saying pass. Okay, Sunil, the same question to you. Why do you think this is a pass and not a SAS? And Sangati, why do you think this is IAS and not a pass solution? Okay, so Sunita posted the reply because in past we are only focusing on application development, not on infrastructure and upgrading. That's true, but the same happened with SAS as well. In SAS as well, we don't focus on infrastructure and upgrading. So, what makes that distinction possible? Why is PaaS a better choice over here and not a SaaS? See, I want you to thoroughly understand the concept, not just answer the questions given over here, but to clear your cloud concept as well. That is why I am asking these follow-up questions. So just try to think, why do you think like uh, PaaS is a better solution over here? Because the same requirement, similar requirement fulfilled by SaaS as well. So we have got two type of answers in this question. Few says PaaS, few says IAS. No one said SAS yet. And let's see what other thing. Those who have joined recently, please try to answer this question. We will be discussing it, and I'm trying my best to make this concept more clear to you so that you don't face any issues in understanding. So these are like IaaS, SaaS, PaaS, cloud model, service deployment model. These are really basics of cloud computing. If you have a solid understanding of this, then only you will be able to understand any cloud, for that matter of fact. So make sure that you have these concepts clear first before we move ahead with the other topics, right? So Sunil is saying our complete infra will be taken care by Azure, and it will be passed because we will migrating the complete web application. Okay, that's true, Sunil. Again, same question to you that I have asked from Sunita. Why do you think SAS is not an ideal choice over here? Because in SAS as well, your infrastructure will be taken care by Azure. We will take care of only platform which we will use. Okay, so it's partially correct, but I wanted to hear more about like what's been given in the question. Okay, so let me take this. So you see, it says you need to migrate an existing application to Azure, right? So it's a web application. That means it cannot be a database as a service. So question like the choice number four has been ruled out. Now we have three options: IES, PaaS, and SaaS. It says migrate a web application. That means application is already existed, and we cannot migrate an application to a SaaS solution, because in SaaS only we can use the standard version of software provided by the cloud provider, like Gmail application. We cannot migrate our own version of Gmail as a SaaS application, right? So that's why it cannot be a SaaS. And for PaaS, you guys have provided the correct explanation. Yes, infrastructure will be managed by Azure, so that you can focus on your application. And And yes, administrative efforts will be minimized, and that is why PAS is the right answer. So thank you so much for attempting. I hope the difference is much clear now. So let me know in the comment, before we move ahead. Let me know if you need any more explanation of this on this, or if you still have any doubts about IAS, PAS, or SAS. All right, so let me move ahead with the next question. So next is, PAS provides full control over the operating system. Is that question true or false? When it says provide full control, that means it provides full control to the user over the operating system. That means if we are using a PAS solution, you will have the complete control of the operating system. Like, do you agree with this statement or not? Let me know in the comment if you think this is true or false, and then we'll go ahead with this. All right. Any attempts to this? Anyone wants to attempt the question? PAS provide full control over the operating system. Sangati is saying true. Sunita is saying false. What else, guys? Like, yeah, it could be either true or false, but I just wanted to make sure everyone understood the question and everyone is trying to, analyze all the keywords given in the question. So I'll just wait for a few more seconds. And Sunil is saying true. All right. So answer to this question is false, because in past you don't get control over the operating system. You get control over the operating system in IES solution, right? It says infrastructure as a service. That means you get full control of the infrastructure. And with infrastructure, we don't mean the physical infrastructure, we mean the operating system, the softwares that run on top of your infrastructure. So in past solution, you do not get SSH or RDP access to the machine. That means you don't get any access to the operating system. So you can only deploy your custom application on top of it, or you can package all those things in that application only, but you cannot do anything on your operating system, right? So that's why PAS that's what make PAS different from IES solution. We will get control on our services. You get control of your application, but not of your infrastructure, not of your operating system. Yes, I hope that is clear now, Sunil. All right. So let's move ahead with the next question then. The next one is here. So your company plans to deploy a custom application to Azure that will have several prerequisites applications and services installed. Which cloud service would you recommend? IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS? Again, so there are so many similar questions, and I've tried to rephrase this into different language, and different. I have given different requirements of each of those so that it all makes sense, so that you are all clear about the concepts between IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, right? So let's have a look at this question. It says your company plans to deploy a custom application, right? It should be pretty clear now, like what are the custom applications, what are standard applications, and it has several prerequisites applications and services installed. Which cloud service should you recommend? IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS? This could be a tricky question because it has multiple requirements and some hidden keywords. So again, try to read this question very carefully. Answer is right there in the question itself. If you combine all the requirements together, and just try to attempt it, and like we'll see. Again, it's I know it's a tricky question, but if you are able to answer this, it's all worth it. That means you are all clear about the conceptual difference between IES, PaaS, and SaaS. So I'll wait for a few seconds and let's see what you guys answer on this. And please don't be afraid of answering it. So there is no wrong answer. Wrong answer is the one that you have not attempted. So try to attempt the question. And I'm not giving you any marks, or I'm not evaluating your skills. I'm not judging you or anything. This is an open forum in which we are having this discussion. And that's why I wanted to make it an interactive session so that we could, help each other understanding the concepts. All right. So we got our first answer. Sunil is saying IAS. Okay. Let's see what others think. Okay. Ame is also saying IS. Hey Ame, thanks for joining. Neha is also here. Neha, thanks for joining. Neha is also saying IAS. So we have got three answers till now. Let's see what others think. And by the way, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. For those who have joined late, this is a session that I have started today. And in this, we will be doing some knowledge checks of AZ900 certification exam. And yes, I wanted to make this an interactive session. That is why I am pulling up the question in front of the screen, and I'm requesting you guys to answer it, and then we'll discuss what would be the right answer and why it is the right answer, so that you just don't attempt the question, but you also understand the concept behind it, so that your basic building blocks of cloud computing are clear enough before you move ahead with the further topics. So again, thank you so much for joining, everyone. Tanaji is saying pass. Yes, so we have got four answers till now. Guys, hurry up. Yes, Vineet, you can definitely join AZ900. There is no issues with that. So I have recently started a playlist for AZ900, and feel free to go to my channel and start it from the video number one. And we have, I guess, almost 11 videos till now. I'll be publishing one, like, more videos this coming week. So stay tuned for that. And yes, we are at the, like, this knowledge checks that we are doing, it is from the cloud computing basics. So even if you have completed 70% of AWS course, any course for that matter of fact, so this should be a good place for you to start. There is nothing specific about Azure in this section. It's more about the cloud computing and its solutions. So IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, these all will be same across all cloud providers. So yes, definitely you can go ahead with that. Then Sangati is also saying IAS. Okay. So we have got enough answers now. And yes, IAS is the correct answer. And let me tell you why IAS is the correct answer. So it says you need to deploy a custom applications to Azure. Custom application, that means you are not deploying a standard version of the application, right? So SaaS is ruled out from here. SaaS is only for the standard version. Gmail application, Office 365. You cannot uh, build or deploy a custom Gmail application, right? That is why SaaS is ruled out. Now, move ahead. It says it will have several prerequisites, applications, and services installed. Prerequisite application, if you are installing an application on top of your application, like a dependency package, or if even if you are running a command on your Linux or Windows server, that means you already have access to the underlying VM. You already have access to the host machine. So in that case, PaaS is also ruled out because you don't get access to your virtual machine in PaaS solution. That is why IES is the right answer. I hope this is clear now. Let me know if you guys need more explanation to this, or we can move ahead with the next question. So meanwhile, I'll try to answer these questions. Sajad is asking which cloud certification to start with for a developer. Sajad, it depends which cloud provider you have chosen already. So with AWS, we have AWS Developer Associate certification. But before that, I would definitely recommend you to go ahead with AWS Solution Architect Associate level first, because it has the basic concepts of all the services. Same if you are going with Azure, uh, you go ahead with if you are going with Azure, you go ahead with Azure Admin first, and then move ahead to any developer specific certification. Same is with GCP, you go with Associate Cloud Engineer certification, then go ahead with the developer certification, because you would need to have the basic understanding of your infrastructure, networking, and how cloud computing work before you attempt any cloud developer specific certification, right? So Sangati is saying question is clear now. And Neha, also services installation cannot be done on PaaS. Yes, that is correct, Neha. That is what I mean when I said you cannot have access to the system, you cannot install your custom applications. Sorry, you cannot install your prerequisite applications and services. So yes, your understanding is correct. And yes, that is why PaaS is not a right choice over here. And because you are not using a standard version of the software, you are not going ahead with the SaaS solution. So yeah, so that's good, like good attempt, guys. So let's move ahead with the next question. In SaaS, customer is responsible for software updates. Is that statement true or false? Software updates as in the application patching, or your updates, upgrades, all those things. So what do you think, in SaaS, who is responsible for that? Is customer responsible for that, or Azure responsible for that? Sangati is saying false. Customer is responsible for software updates. Okay, let's see what other thing. Software update is the end user. Sorry, Neha, I didn't understand your question. Customer is responsible for software update. Software as in the application that customer is using that they have hosted already on the cloud. Deepak is saying false and Sunita is saying true. Okay, I'll wait for a few others to answer the question and then we can discuss the right answer and why is it a right answer. So let's see. So like if there is an update on WhatsApp from Play Store, we as user need to update the software. Hence I'm confused with the question. Okay. So you are not actually updating the software when when the WhatsApp team they are making any changes to the software. That is updates from their side, right? So that is what we are referring as update. When you are updating as a user, that means you are just taking the latest application from the server, right? So try to understand the difference between the software update. This is not something that you are doing on your end. I might have given the answer to this question, but try to understand this is a software update. That means you are making any changes in the software, right? Whether you are updating it to the latest version or okay. So I guess you understood, and you says your answer is false. All right. So yes, you are right, and Sangati, Deepak, you guys are also right. Um, Customer is not responsible for software update in a SaaS solution. Again, think of it as an Gmail application. You don't update your Gmail application to get the latest patches or to get the latest version of Gmail. It is done by the cloud provider itself. It is done by Google itself. So whatever customization that they make on top of their software, it will be available for everyone to use. And updating your application from Play Store or App Store is not same as updating your software. So this is just you are taking the latest version from the cloud provider, but you are not making any changes to it, right? I hope this is also understood. Let's move ahead with the next question. So it says you must have physical servers to use in cloud computing. Is that statement true or false? When you are using a cloud computing solution, whether it is IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS, the question says you need to have a physical server that you maintain yourself. What do you think about this? Do you agree with this or you don't? And why is that? Okay, Neha, that was quick. Says false. All right. Who else is here? Come on, guys, buckle up. Let's answer this question. Is pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. Let's start with it. We have Deepak, Vineet, Sajad, Tanaji, Ame. Okay, Deepak says yes. Okay, Akshay says false. Hello, Akshay. Thanks for joining and thanks for attempting the question. So I'll just wait for a few more answers and then we'll discuss the right answer and why it is a right answer. So let's see. So again, thank you very much everyone for participating in this. as I said, I wanted it to be an interactive session, and you guys are making it possible. So thank you so much for that. Tanaji says false, and Sangati also says false. If there isn't anyone pending, so let's try to understand this question. Most of you have got it right. Sunita also says false. So yes, answer, and Ame is also saying false. So yes, folks, you are right. Answer is false. When you are, the main reason you are moving to cloud, the reason you are doing cloud computing is because you don't want to have anything hosted on a physical server in your data center, right? So you are going to a public cloud or a private cloud. There will be physical server somewhere in the data center, but it is not visible to you. This is abstraction provided to you by the cloud provider. So if you go ahead and you go to your Azure portal and provision a virtual machine, it will be hosted somewhere on a physical host on the Microsoft Azure's data center. But for you, it is just a virtual machine. There is no physical server for you. That is why the name is there, physical, in that means it is hosted somewhere. But when you are using it, you are using a virtual machine, so you are using a virtual infrastructure. So that means it is virtual to you, and for you it's just a server on the cloud, not a physical server. Physical server is like you can use your PC in cloud. Yes, Sangati, that's correct. So yes, Deepak, I mean, physical servers will be there definitely. However, it depends on who is managing. Yes. But when we are, your understanding is absolutely correct. But when we say about cloud computing, that means these physical servers are abstracted to you. You don't have any access to that. You don't even know where it is sitting on the data center, like in which rack or which particular room it is sitting, and you don't actually have any visibility to the physical server. So for you it's just a virtual server. For cloud providers, yes, those are the physical servers, but that's the difference. When we are asking about the cloud providers, they will take care of it, and you don't have to worry about any of the physical aspect of the infrastructure. I hope this question is clear now. Okay, so let me know if we can move ahead with the next question, or anyone still have any doubts related to this. All right, let's move ahead then. Okay, Neha is saying percentage clear. I guess she meant 100% clear. Okay, all right. So yes, let's move ahead. So the next one is here. SQL Server hosted on cloud and updates managed by Azure is which cloud offering? IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS? Again, try to read every keyword given in the question. It says SQL Server on cloud and updates are managed by Azure. So go ahead. We have attempted similar questions in the previous slide. So yeah, this should be also somewhat doable, but let me know, like, and we can discuss further on this. What do you think about it? Okay, so we have got our first answer. Neha is saying pass, platform as a service. I'm waiting to hear what others think. Let's give it few more seconds and then we'll discuss. Answer, Sangati is saying pass, Sunita is saying SAS, Tanaji pass. So we have got three pairs till now and one SAS. Deepak is saying SAS. So three pairs, two SAS. Okay, and Deepak has added one more A in the SAS to make the solution more robust. Let's see what others think. Akshay is also saying SAS. So we have got some competition. Three SAS and three pairs. What will be the tiebreaker? Let's see. Okay, I'll wait for one more answer and then we'll start the discussion on this. All right, I guess I would have to break the tie. No, Sunil broke the tie and he's saying SAS, but the correct answer is PAS. So you cannot deploy a SQL server on a SaaS solution because with SQL server, you will have to do a lot of customizations. You need to create your own database schema. You need to create your own like multiple things like database, tables, and indexes, all those things. So you have to do a lot of customizations as per your requirement. That is why it cannot be a SaaS solution. Yes, updates managed by Azure, but updates are managed by Azure in both the cases, in SaaS as well as PaaS. The only difference in that is SQL Server hosted on cloud. SQL Server cannot be a SaaS offering as for the reasons that I've already mentioned. For SaaS, you only manage and maintain the standard version of the software without any customizations, right? So yes, a lot of people said SaaS, but I hope it is clear now why it is not a SaaS and a PaaS offering. So Neha, Sangati, Sunita, no, not Sunita. Sunita said SaaS. So Neha, Sangati, and Tanaji. So yes, these three were the right answers, and I hope for others as well it is clear now. Let me know if we are okay to proceed further or if you still need some clarification on this. All right, I mean you don't have to type the complete thing, you just said okay and we can move ahead. Okay, so we have got two go ahead, so let's move ahead with the next question. Next is MS SQL Server 2019 installed on VM is pass, true or false? Okay, this is similar to the previous question, but again, try to read every keyword in the question and try to analyze it and then try to answer it. Okay, so we've got our first answer. Sunil is saying true. So Sunil is saying MS SQL Server 2019 installed on a VM is a pass offering. All right, let's see what others think. Okay. Neha is saying true. Sangati is also saying true. Akshay saying true. We have got four trues till now. Tanaji is saying false. We have got four trues and one false. So it's a one sided competition till now between true and false. Let's see who wins. All right, I guess we are good now. So the answer to this question is false. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but there is a minute detail in the question that you have missed for those who have said true, including Deepak. So I told you, read the question very carefully. It is similar to previous question, but there are hidden details. It's not hidden, it's right in front of you, but sometimes we just miss it. Right? So it says, no, Neha, it's not server, it's VM. It says MS SQL Server installed on VM is PaaS. Install.vm, that means it is running on a virtual machine. When it is running on a virtual machine, you don't manage the update, like Azure don't manage the updates, and you get access to the underlying virtual machine. That means it is a IaaS, infrastructure as a service, not a PaaS offering, right? So you can install any database on your virtual machine as well, and when you use that, it is called an IaaS service. But when you use a, let's say Azure SQL database as a managed service, then it is a PaaS, in which you don't manage the underlying infrastructure or the operating system, or you don't get access to the virtual machine. But in this case, it clearly says installed on a VM. That means you have access to the VM. So there are few things that we have to, assume based on what has been given to us. Says installed on a VM. That means you have access to the VM, and it's not a PaaS offering. It's an IaaS as a service, infrastructure as a service. So yeah, it was a tricky question with just a little bit of details. So I was not hoping that all of you will got it right, but I am hoping now it is clear to you guys now. So let me know if it is clear enough. So Neha is saying any DB installed managed by cloud service provider, then it's a PaaS. And if it's on VM, it becomes IS. Is that correct? That's absolutely correct. Any service that is installed on VM, whether it's a database, whether it's a any other application, if it is installed on a VM, that means you have access to the VM, and that means it is an infrastructure as a service as opposed to platform as a service. So, yes, Neha, it's absolutely correct. So, everyone else is also good with the explanation, or any further doubts on this? Let me know. We are almost at the end of our session. Okay, thanks for the confirmation, Neha. So, we'll just complete this particular slide and we'll wrap up the session. I am really enjoying this session as I'm getting a lot of response from you folks, but I have some other commitments. Like, I have a couple of more podcasts scheduled after this, and so yeah, so I have to wrap it up soon. So let's go ahead quickly. So okay, so this is like a bigger question. So let's try to understand this carefully. You plan to use Azure to host two applications, App One and App Two. The app must meet the following requirements. You must be able to modify the code of App One. First requirement is this. Administrative efforts to manage the operating system of App 1 would be minimized. App 2 must run interactively with operating system of the server. You know, so what type of cloud service you would choose for each app? So let me know. App 1 IES, PaaS or SaaS. App 2, IES, PaaS or SaaS. Again, try to attempt the question after reading it carefully, right? It says you must be able to modify the code of app 1. Administrative effort to manage the OS of app 1 must be minimized, and app 2 must run interactively with the operating system of the server. So these three requirements, first two requirements are for app 1, the third requirement is for app 2. Yes, I'll wait and let's see if we have further questions on this. Yeah, it has one more question, so let's wrap this up quickly. Okay, so we have got our first answer. Neha says app 1 pass and app 2 IES. Not sure for app 2. All right, no worries. Thanks for attempting this though. Let's wait for others as well. Sangati is saying app 1 is IES. All right. Okay, let's wait for a few more seconds for other folks to also attempt the question and then we'll start the discussion on this. Got two answers till now. Tanaji is saying app 1 is IS, app 2 is PAS. All right. Okay, Sangati is saying app 2 is PAS. All right, so let me take the answer for this. So the correct answer is this one provided by Neha. The first app is PAS because it says you must be able to modify the code of application. That means you are building a custom application. So it could be IS or PAS. It cannot be a SaaS, right? Then the second requirement says admin efforts should be minimized, right, to manage the operating system. That means it cannot be an IAS because for IAS, customer is responsible for doing all the administrative tasks such as patching and everything. But it says it should be minimized. That means it will be a PaaS offering. For the second app, it says it must run interactively with the operating system. What we mean by interactive session is you are interacting with the operating system. So you have the login capabilities, or you are able to RDP, or you are able to, so you are somehow able to interact with the operating system, like with the help of putty, or with the help of an RDP session, or with the help of a command prompt, anything, right? So you have that interactive capabilities which we don't get in PaaS or SaaS. You don't get access to the operating system in PaaS or SaaS. You only get this in IES. So that is why IES is the right answer. So I hope this is clear now. App 1 is PaaS, App 2 is IES. Right? So let's move ahead with our last question for today. Okay, let me hide this. You have an application that uses legacy database. You plan to move the app to cloud. Which cloud service you would use? IES, PaaS, or SaaS? So again, try to read the question carefully. It says you have already an application that uses legacy database, and you plan to move the app to cloud, right? So you are moving your existing database application to the cloud. Which service would you choose? Thank you so much, Neha, for the wonderful feedback. I'm really glad that videos are helping and I'm able to help the community in understanding, cloud concepts and DevOps concepts. So thank you very much for the feedback. So Neha is saying IAS. All right. Deepak is answering the previous question, which says app one is PaaS and app two is SaaS. That's perfectly uh, that's a perfect answer, Deepak, and we have already discussed the reason for it. So thank you for attempting this. Thank you, Amay. Thanks for joining. And yes, we still have one last question to attempt. So give it a go, and we'll see. We have got only one answer till now, and I'm waiting for the others to reply. Sangati is also saying IAS. So we have got two answers till now. What about others? Right. So let me take this question. So answer is IAS. And the reason for that is you are moving a legacy database to the cloud. When it says legacy database, that means it won't be compatible with the existing, with the new cloud offerings or with the managed services, right? So you have to, there is a thing called lift and shift. So it is really an important concept in the cloud when you are doing a cloud migration from on premises to cloud. And if you are using a legacy application or an application that cannot be modified, their code cannot be modified, then you do something called as lift and shift. So you just move your existing application the same way it is from one platform, from your on premises to cloud. That is why it's called lift and shift. And in that case, you are not making any changes whatsoever. So the same way that it was there in your on premises, it will behave the same in your cloud with the added advantage of cloud computing, right? So when the database was in your on premises infrastructure, you had the access to your infrastructure like OS, and you were managing all the administrative tasks by yourself. You had your custom application, you had some dependencies, prerequisites package, all those things. So those are the features of an IES application. When you are doing lift and shift, that means you will be going ahead with the IES application without modifying any existing code of the application or without changing the behavior of the application, right? So I hope this is also clear now, and that's it for this session, guys. Again, I'm really blessed that all of you have joined and participated in this session, and I have got really good response. Even if there are 10 people joined the session, that is more than enough for me. And it feels good when people are responding to your questions and you are helping each other out. So that's what these sessions are all about. And I hope you would have learned something from it, and it was really valuable session. If you still have some doubts on the questions that we have discussed, feel free to go back to the video number 1 of my playlist, and you will understand all those concepts and try to attempt these knowledge checks once again. And yeah, that's it for this session, and I will see you next weekend Saturday at the same time, and we'll share the link on my YouTube and LinkedIn. And that's it. And feel free to reach out for anything. Thank you very much, Sangati, for joining. Thank you so much, Neha, for joining. And thanks everyone for joining. It was such a wonderful session for me. I really enjoyed it. And now I'll let you enjoy your weekend. And please keep watching the videos and keep sharing your feedback, and you know keep learning. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone. Take care.